Hello everyone, and welcome back to the StarCraft 2 1 vs 1 replay casted by myself. My name is Axel. I'm going to be casting another 1 vs 1 in between spawning in at the 3 o'clock location. The blue Protoss player Hero from Team Liquid, his opponent at the top left side of the map, the red Zerg player Slush from Team Rain. This is game number 4 between these two gentlemen, so if you haven't seen games 1 through 3, definitely go check those out. That being said, Hero is up 3-0 right now, and in this best of 7 extended series, that means the first to 4 wins, I should say, takes the series. So Hero is 1 win away from advancing to championship losers bracket round 7, and I think he would potentially face off against Rain Kiwikaki? I'm pretty sure that's accurate. Either way, don't count Slush out. He's a very good Zerg player. He can definitely amount a comeback if he tries his hardest and plays his best, because Hero has been killing it. He's been killing it so far. Slush needs to win 4 in a row from this point to take the extended series victory. He's down 3-0. So that's what's going on here. The map is going to be MLG Test Bug, and it is quite a unique map. There are 3 spawning locations: the 3 o'clock position, the 11 o'clock position, and the 7 o'clock position. And they all have their unique characteristics as far as look. Like the structures are the same, the ramps are the same width, the natural expansion ramps are the same width, or spaces I should say. Same amount of minerals. The only difference is like the color and the texture, which is pretty cool. See how it goes from like green to like this concrete stuff, and then from that to like this Xel'Naga soil kind of stuff. So pretty cool map. I like it a lot. Very aesthetically pleasing, if that's a word. I'm going to use that. I'm just going to go ahead and use that. But either way, Zerg favorite map. A lot of people think it is a Zerg favorite map because it's easy for Zerg to take a third, but not so easy for a Protoss to take a third. And it's decently long rush distances. I mean, if a Protoss tries to take a third, a Zerg can easily delay this one over here with just some Zergling run-bys. So Protoss has to decide between this one and this one. This one's a little bit better. It's on the high ground, so a lot of Protoss players like to take that, but it is so far away from your natural expansion, it's pretty darn hard to defend. So we'll have to see what happens here. RGNSlush starting off with a gas and then a spawning pool, getting metabolic boost speed upgrade quite quickly. Not too uncommon. We've seen him do this pretty much in every single game, not going for any early hatchery, not going for any really delayed gas builds. Loves those early speedlings to be aggressive, to take map control, and to defend from any shenanigans from his opponent. Either way, Hero going to be evacuating with this pro. It may get taken out though. In fact, it will. Slush at the same time taking his hatchery on 300 minerals and 21 food in just a second, I would imagine. At the same time, Slush going to be advancing to the middle of the map here. Something that's interesting to note, there are rocks covering these watchtowers outside of your opponent's base, so you do have to take those out. You do have to take those out to get vision, which is quite an interesting attribute of this map. But either way, Hero, what is he doing in his base? Has a pylon, gateway, 7 core Zealot forming that wall up. Also has 2 gases that he's currently mining, adding on a pylon inside his base. Should be interesting to see what he decides to do. I mean, if you look at the natural expansion, it's not terribly hard to defend. It's not like a huge expansive natural like, oh, Xel'Naga Caverns or Metalopolis. There's a nice little gap. I don't say a little, medium-sized gap here where you can usually deflect from any potential aggression. At the same time, Hero has a sentry poised to throw down a force field if need be. He has 2 gases down, so we'll have to see what he ends up doing here. Obviously 2 gases implies some sort of tech build. At the same time though, his money's getting up there, so may just be saving up that gas for later to get more and more sentries. And it looks like Hero's going to do a 1-gate fast expand here. Only has 2 sentries and a Zealot on the field. Slush may try to abuse this. Has 6 Zerglings on the way. Actually has 14 Zerglings on the field, which is a lot of Zerglings, but Hero, he's very good with his force field, so we'll have to see if he can be prepared for this. And Slush is coming forward here. Hero must be paying attention. He has to pay attention in order to deflect this aggression. Here we go. Slush coming forward into the natural expansion. Hero coming forward a little bit, throwing down a force field, getting caught off guard. The sentries will get surrounded. Zealot trying to do some damage, but it's going to get killed too. And Hero throwing down another force field at the top of his ramp. Could be in a lot of trouble here. May even be forced to cancel that nexus. Just going to wall off completely with a pylon. And this is very interesting indeed. Has a Twilight Council on the way and a gateway. So Hero may be forced to give up his natural expansion Slush, using 4 Zerglings to the best of his ability to cause that natural expansion to go down, or actually to get cancelled. Also took out 2 sentries and a Zealot. Not a bad job at all. At the same time, Hero going to be taking a Dark Shrine outside of his main nexus and adding on 3 additional gateways, but not a good start for Hero in this game. Slush up 41 to 30 supply. And good job by Slush. I mean, that, as a Zerg player, that's your goal. You get these early Zerglings. It wasn't too much of an investment just for 15 Zerglings. I mean, that's 15 larvae that are actually 2 come out of his 2 come out of a larva, so that's like 7 larvae, 8 larvae that could have been drones. But the fact of the matter is, he got those links out. He could use it for defense if his opponent decides to attack him, and this time he decided to be really aggressive. Got a nice surround on Hero, Sentries, and Zealots, and forced the cancel of that natural expansion. And anytime, as a Zerg player, you can force that cancel, it is a good thing for you. So, Hero forced to take his Nexus about 3 minutes later than he would have wanted. Definitely putting him behind economically. 32 Harvesters, actually 38 Harvesters for Slush, comparable to the 28 from Liquid Hero. And 7 more in production, so Slush spamming that drone key. Saw his opponent took this Nexus, I would imagine, with his Overlord. Yes, he did. So knows he is safe to drone up a little bit, and that's exactly what he did, up to 43 Harvesters. So Slush looking good so far in this game. That's exactly what he needs to mount a comeback. Is a good start, and that's exactly what he has. At the same time, Overlord coming forward, going to be tickled a little bit by the Sentry. Overlord going to be laughing and just going to get out of there. Doesn't want anything to do with that. Dark Shrine is done, so I'm looking for any Dark Templars on the field. There are 2 marching across the middle of the map here. We'll have to see what he decides to do here. In game number 2, he's not only a Caverns game. He decided to target down this hatchery and ended up taking it out. We'll have to see if it works. Slush does have a layer complete, so can potentially build an Overseer. Let's see how his reaction is this time. Dark Templars coming forward, and actually Hero going to split his Dark Templars up, going for the mineral lines. 1 coming to the natural expansion, gets 1 kill. Slush now knows about it, immediately making an Overseer. At the same time, in the main, Dark Templar going to work. 2, 3 kills. That's going to continue going up. Going to start targeting down the Queen now. Actually changing his mind, switching to those drones at the same time. Infestation Pit just now finishing for Rain Slush, and Slush doing some scouting with his Overlord and just chilling there. But either way, Dark Templars are going to be taken out by Rain Slush with some Zerglings using that Overseer for detection. So those 2 Dark Templars will be eclipsed. Hero has 13 workers killed, comparable to the 2 from Slush. So Hero ahead in that regard, but still. Actually, look at that. Actually gives himself the Harvester lead with that damage being done. 34-30 in favor of Hero. Now, is he back in this game? You may be asking. Maybe. He may be back in this game. That Dark Templar aggression may be enough, but keep in mind, Slush already has an Infestation Pit on the ground. He's plenty of drones on the field. Pathogen glands being researched, and I have a feeling he's going to take a 3rd pretty soon. This drone is poised, getting ready, getting his mind set. Has to be completely prepared once he turns into that hatchery. And Slush probably will take a 3rd pretty soon here. So it's hard to say. Pretty even, I would say. But you got to consider that that technically that Slush has. He's also getting 4 gases fully saturated right now. So we'll have plenty of gas to build Infestors should he so desire. A lot of roaches on the way as well. Meanwhile, back in Hero's base, going to be using these units in the middle of the map to take down these rocks of this watchtower, so we can have more vision of his side of the map. Not a bad idea at all. In his natural expansion, taking 2 gases definitely implies a lot of tech, but let's see what he does here. I mean, those gases are so important in the PvZ matchup as a Protoss player. Of course, all your heavy gas units are your heavy hitters, your Colossus, your High Templar, your Dark Templar, and your Sentries. Those are your money units. Either way, charge on the way for Liquid Hero. And is he going to go... Does he must have a Templar... Okay, he has a Dark Templar Shrine down. So he's going to be making those Dark Templars into some Archons here. So 2 Archons on the field. And Charge Launch, which is... It's decent. I mean, ideally you want High Templars to deal with those Infestors from your opponent. But Hero has no idea about those Infestors. So we'll have to see what happens. Archons decently well. Decently good unit against Infestor play. Because... You know... Archons, very strong units. You usually need like mass roach to deal with those. But that being said, Slush has a lot of roaches here, so with some target fire could get rid of those Archons quite nicely. At the same time, Hero poking forward and may decide to try to engage traps 2 roaches. So pretty cool play there. And charge is done for the Zealots. Also a robotics facility on the way for Liquid Hero. Approaching his opponent's side of the map, Slush going to be evacuating with 3. Infestors here had 10 roaches on the way, along with Neural Parasite and Zerg Melee attacks level 1, also adding on that hatchery at his 3rd. At the same time, Hero using this pressure to take a 3rd of his own. Not a bad idea at all. We'll have to see how it pays off for him. And it's relatively easy to defend this. It is on the high ground, only 2 ramps leading up to it, but he still has to be very careful at the same time. Speaking of careful, Hero advancing onto the creep here. If a couple Fungal Growths go down, this could be bad for Hero. And here we go, Slush coming forward with Roaches, Lings, and Infestors. Fungal Growth goes down onto some Zealots there. Archon coming forward, trying to do as much damage as it can. Neural Parasite is not yet complete, so you can't Neural Parasite that Archon, but more Fungal Growths going down from a Rain Slush. Where are the rest of his units? There they are, a lot of Roaches coming forward from RGNSlush to deal with his army. The Hero losing a large majority of his army here. Going to be evacuating back to his third, I would imagine. Warping in a lot of Stalkers behind, I would imagine. Yes, 6 more Stalkers being warped in, along with 3 sentries chilling back home. And Hero evacuating with those Archons. Putting down the Guardian Shield. Going to engage these Roaches, and Slush going to be backing away. Important to note, Slush has not scouted this third yet, so if Hero can get this up and saturated, he may be pretty well off, but keep in mind, he just lost a large majority of his army. Slush has to be feeling very good, up 132 to 93 supply, going to be taking down this watchtower. Going to be taking down these rungs, I should say, and now can have vision of a large majority of his side of the map. At the same time, Slush coming forward to the gold. He's going to be taking down those rocks. Definitely has that in mind to take those. Also getting his gases pretty fast at his third. Of course, you need those gases for those infestors. So Slush definitely infestors a big part, going to be a big part of his late game RV. No hive in the near future, just yet. But Slush just chilling in the middle of the map here with his roaches and infestors. Does he know about this third yet? He saw something being built there. So he saw a cannon. How is that the only thing he saw? It's so weird. Maybe that was a pylon and then it's... No, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. But either way, maybe an Overlord saw it. Or maybe it was the watchtower. I don't know. Either way, Slush knows it's there now. Coming forward with all of these Roaches and Infestors going to be coming forward. Targeting down that high Templar Archive. There are 2 cannons here. That's not going to be enough. But Hero retreating back with some Blink Stalkers. Doing that Blink to get a little bit closer. Throwing down some Guardian Shields as well. Has 2 Archons in this unit composition. And Slush just going to back away. So Hero trying to pull himself back into this game, down 155 to 112, and he has been behind before. I don't know if you remember Game 1. Yes, that 56-minute long game. If you haven't seen it, shame on you. Go watch it. But Hero was behind, and he came back. But Slush didn't have a lot of infestors in the game. He only had 2 at like the very end, the final minute. He made 2 infestors. They were immediately fed back, and Slush could do nothing. So either way, Slush changing up his late game tactics a little bit, getting a large majority of infestors in his army. Has a lot of roaches here as well. Upgrades are decent, 0-1 comparable to the 0-1 of Hero. Dark Templar coming forward, and Hero has to be careful. No Funkos going down. Roaches trying to engage, but there are force fields there. Funko being thrown down onto that Dark Templar, going to reveal that so that Slush can take that out quite quickly. Both players biding their time. A little bit of a tense moment here. Hero doesn't want to overextend himself. Doesn't want to be caught by any fungal growths. Has an immortal in this unit composition. 4th is down for Slush at his gold. Income tab shows 70 to 56 in favor of Slush. So definitely ahead in that regard. Hero does have an observer in his unit composition, so he can take down those creep tumors. At the same time, Dark Templar coming forward to the bottom left side of the map, making sure there's no additional expansions from RGNSlush. And a Greater Spire is on the way for Slush, along with Adrenal Glands, +2 missile attacks, and +3 melee attacks. So Slush looking really good on upgrades as well. Dark Templar coming to the gold, but Ling's just going to try to surround it. The Dark Templar is trapped and finally gets away. Overseer going to spot the Observer at the same time. Hero coming forward, top side of the map here, just taking out some creep tumors and backing away. Has to be very careful. Slush is approaching max, has 6 Corruptors on the way. Probably will start thinking about trading some supply so we can have enough for those Broodlords. That being said, a lot of Links coming forward to the natural third of Liquid Hero. Going to try to get in that middle line, I would imagine, to take down some probes. Does leave some there. Also taking down a cannon or 2, and he will decide to evacuate. So these Blink Stalkers going to be enough to discourage those Zerglings from proceeding forward with their attack. Now Slush building a lot of Spine Crawlers with those drones, again trying to free up a little bit of supply here for his Broodlords. Greater Spire about to complete, at which point I would expect every single one of these Corruptors to become a Broodlord. And Greater Spire is done. Corruptors? Broodlords? There they are. So, Corruptors being made into Broodlords, and this is when the Zerg army starts to get absolutely terrifying. Infestors and Broodlords. That's all you essentially need, to be completely honest. And it is so hard to play against. What happens is, like, okay, the Broodlords, you can't really engage them. And when you try to engage them, if you try to blink under them, Infestors can just fungal growth you. And then you're trapped, you can't go anywhere, and then you die. So either way, Hero coming forward with, like, a fourth of his army here. 2 Archons and 2 Immortals. Maybe a misclick, but either way, going to be committing here with a lot of Stalkers here. Broodlords are out. Keep that in mind. Feedback going down onto the Infestors. Very nice feedbacks, but look at this. Slush going to be Neural Parasiting one of Hero's Immortals. And that's going to be doing a lot of damage to the Stalker. So Hero going to be evacuating away. Slush up 197 to 106 supply. Definitely came on top of that altercation. And Slush may start his march to his enemy's base to do the death blow. Hero not looking good right now, down 194 to 100 supply. Keep in mind, though, he's up 3-0 in the series, so Slush has to win this game. Hero needs one more victory to advance to the next round of the championship losers bracket from MLG Raleigh. Slush coming forward with 6 Broodlords here. A very scary army indeed of Roaches and Infestors as well. Hero trying to blink away, but he's running out of real estate. You can only retreat so much in the game of StarCraft 2. There are walls around the map. Either way, Forge going to be taken out before the +2 ground weapons can finish, and Hero definitely a little bit scared right now. The only way to combat these Broodlords is A, Void Rays, or B, blinking underneath them with Stalkers and then target firing them. If you blink underneath them, Roaches will kill you. If you get Void Rays, I mean, Infestors can just do Fungal Growth. So, very sticky situation for Hero. In fact, I think Slush has taken the game right now. 5 Dark Templars being warped in. But Fungal Growth is going to be thrown down, and definitely Hero not going to be winning this game. Don't see much more he can actually do. Slush charging forward with all of his Roaches, Infestors, and Broodlords. Hero, I guess, I'm not sure. Oh, I guess 2 High Templar coming forward. Going to try to throw down some Storms, but that's not going to do a terrible amount of damage. And there's the GG from Liquid Hero. So Slush finally takes a game in this best-of-7 series. Hero now currently up 3-1. That means we're going to have a Game 5. So definitely join me then. Hero needs one more victory to advance to the next round of the championship losers bracket. Slush needs to win 3 more. So is Slush mounting a comeback, or will Hero close it up next time? Join me on MLG.tv. More replays from MLG Raleigh. Going to be casted there, so definitely check that out. See you guys in Game 5.